Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we got some hot ones. The Tangled Web. Is it a little too powerful of a team, or should you be spreading out your defense? I always advise people on war defense to spread them out. Cosmic Crucible defense is where you want those one or two big teams to catch people up. We grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their place with their power levels or ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. This is Hispanic Titanic's defense, and if you want your defense featured on Defense Up, links are down in the description. Hit me up, and we will get you up here and start, making fun of your teams and stuff. All right, so team number 1 is the Uncanny team. I prefer this team on offense. They have some stuff that they go into pretty well, especially like if you can punch down easily and sometimes punch across on the Hero Asgardian teams. If you swap in Beast for one of these members, Beast flips the defense up into defense down, and then you can nuke them with Storm and friends. So that's a thing that I like to do. Plus there's other stuff that they go into really well. So offense is where it's at. If you're gonna put them on defense, I think Storm needs to be a skirmisher to make sure, Storm needs to be a skirmisher no matter what, to make sure that the stuns land and stick. And then I like Magic as a striker rather than a raider. She does have some AoE attacks, but she is pretty slow and her basic is pretty good. She should be a striker. Also, if Colossus has the T4s in him, you want to start making him a skirmisher because he'll give himself counterattack, and then he will put those vulnerables out there for other people to go into. Right now, you have 2 Raiders and Cyclops as a striker. Cyclops should be a Raider for big crit damage on his AoE. And then Phoenix doesn't matter what you do, but you should make her War Ready. The stats from War Ready carry over to Dark Phoenix. However, the ISO does not. So it doesn't matter what ISO you use, but make her War Ready. So I really don't like any of these ISO changes. I mean, Colossus is okay as a fortifier if he's smaller like this, but I would like to see him built up as a skirmisher. And I'd like to see this whole team moved over to war offense. I'm going to give you a C for this. A lot of work needs to go into it. Also, let's get Magic further away from Phoenix. Team number 2 is that Tangled Web team thrown in with the Eternals. Now, the Eternal Striker Skirmisher combo, that's good. Striker on Spider Weaver is good. If she's smaller, you might consider running her as a fortifier to make sure she survives long enough to get her charges out on the field. Remember, there is currently a bug in-game where if you stun Spider Weaver while she's charged, she will not lose charges, and you will be whiffing it every time you attack that team. Raider on 99 is an okay choice. I definitely want Raider on 99 in Cosmic Crucible, but in War, you could choose other choices like Striker. I think just build him as a Raider. He's meant to go into Crucible. Build him as a Raider, and you're going to be okay there. However, Spider-Man Noir, Striker's okay because he has a lot of piercing damage on his special and ultimate. However, I think Raider's going to be a better choice because his counter assist is not very good. It's a very vanilla, very bland counter assist, so you're not getting tons of value with the Striker ISO. I think Raider's probably the way to go there. That would give you 2 Raiders and 2 Strikers with a Skirmisher. I would like that composition better, but do we want to put the Eternals with this team? Do we even want this team on war defense? This is an incredibly powerful team, or even 2 incredibly powerful teams that you could be using for war offense. And when we have all these events that require us to do war attacks, I think we should be pulling teams like this on war offense, or at the very least, spreading them out. One other thing that you could do, if you really like this team and you really want it to do great war defense for you, then change Noir. Swap him out for America Chavez. On war defense, this doesn't work in Crucible, but on war defense, you can put America Chavez in here, especially for those of you who don't have Noir unlocked. And then she's going to be speeding up Cersei and Spider Weaver. No one's going to get in front of Spider Weaver with that much speed. No one's going to get in front of Cersei. Well, you might be able to get in front of Cersei, but who cares? Because Spider Weaver's going to be throwing off her charges things, and you're going to be whiffing it. So that's something else you could do. If you really want that OP defense, those are some options for you. There's nothing really wrong with this, although I would like to see the ISO change on Noir. Other than that, I think this is okay. I can give you an A- for this team. However, personally, I think it should be divided up into 2 defenses or 2 offenses. Moving on to team number 3 is the Wakandans. Great placement. This is exactly the placement you want. I'd like to see M'Baku as a striker. He doesn't need to be a fortifier. His power levels are matching the rest of the team, so make him a striker. So he actually has some pretty good damage, and he'll double tap off of Okoye. If Okoye was a skirmisher, that's the big problem with this team. Okoye's a raider. We need to change that ISO to skirmisher 100%. That's detrimental to the way this team functions. You get double taps off of Black Panther and Okoye, could get double taps off of M'Baku and Okoye, and then healer ISO on Shuri is great. I like Killmonger as a raider, and I like him next to M'Baku. So, yeah, I'm going to go C+ for this team because that ISO on Okoye is huge. So let's get that changed right away. Number 4 is the Sinister Six. I am so bored to death with this team. It's very uninteresting. It's very easy to beat. However, you have a little bit of investment in the other tunes, so they're not going to fold like paper mache. They might actually stand up to an opening attack and cause some trouble, but still. Everybody's got some speed meta teams that can feed off of this and get going and roll over Doc Ock. It's not really going to stop anybody. Personally, I like teams that are using Doc Ock, some hybrid built teams. I do like that you put in Green Goblin in here after his rework. He's a little bit better. He's going to be spawning with defense up on the field. I don't know. Maybe you could get something going, but really, I think this is just a wasted investment in the Sinister Six team as a whole. I don't think at this point in time, any player should be investing in any one of these tunes other than Green Goblin if you are interested in that underworld team. And even then, you may be able to sub in somebody else for Green Goblin, but whatever. For me, it's a B-. It's not terribly done. I like the ISO choices that you've got going on here. You could probably go Raider or Skirmisher over here on Swarm. Doesn't really matter. Those are okay choices, though. So, yeah, for me, just like, change the team. Oh, here's a big problem, actually. We have Doc Ock off to the side. He's giving out deflex to adjacent members, so we need to change that placement. So we're going to go C+ for that team. All right, moving on, team number 5. This is a plug-and-play extravaganza. You've got the new Warriors with Dagger off to the side. Dagger giving offense up to adjacent members. She's giving the offense up to nobody, so we need to change that placement for sure. I would like to see probably Cloak and Surfer adjacent to Dagger, but more importantly, I think you could mix this up and do something different. We saw that Tangled Web team. You could be putting Cloak and Dagger with the Tangled Web team and saving your Eternals for something. You could then be using Deathpool and Surfer and Doom for other hybrids, maybe with Doc Ock or something like that. I don't know. But for me, this is a lot of plug and play action. There's nothing really bad here other than you've got so many strikers and only 1.5 skirmishers. They've got vulnerables coming out of their kit, but you've got 4 people soaking them up, so that's not very good. I think we should change Surfer to a Raider for defense. He works great as a striker on offense, but on defense, you should probably have him as a Raider, so he's putting more vulnerables on the field. And then you could, I guess that'd probably be good enough. Yeah, that'd probably be good enough, I guess. But really, let's change the composition of who we're using for this team. It's not terrible, but we could do better. So I'm going to go for a B with this. Team number 6 is the Unlimited team. I'm not sure I like the placement on this. I think we definitely need to move Gambit as far away from Rogue as possible. Gambit's a hot target on this one. You either put him in the middle, breaking up chain attacks, or what's more likely, you put him as far away from Rogue as you possibly can, having what's his face there, Phantom X next to Rogue, and Fire Chicken in the middle, and then Drizzle where she's at right there. So big placement change. We need Gambit to be a Raider for sure, and Firestorm needs to be a Raider also for the crit damage. Striker isn't a bad choice. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Striker's a great choice for him. He has a lot of piercing built into his kit, so his basic might not be that great, but the piercing damage you're going to get from his double taps is really nice. Alternatively, you can go for Raider, and I wouldn't mark you down, but placement change and Raider ISO here. Also, I think everybody should just be using Rogue as a skirmisher. She's got a great basic. However, it's the resistance meta. If you're going to be building one ISO on a tune, make it skirmisher and then just let it carry over for war. I'm going to go C+ on this team. It needs some work. Team number 7 is the Hero Asgardians. I don't like the placement. We're swapping Heimdall for anybody, breaking up that three-piece, probably putting somebody like Thor. Yeah, let's swap Thor and Heimdall. That'd be a good switch. We want Fortifier on Sif and Raider on everybody else. Thor definitely should not be a striker. He doesn't have a very good combo with his assist maneuver, so that's a terrible choice for striker. Heimdall should also be a Raider for the AoE. He doesn't have a very good basic either. So 3 ISO changes and a placement change. That gets you a C+. Moving on to number 8, we have the Marauders, and we put Magneto in here in place of Mystique. That's a good choice. With the leaks, which are... Now, I don't normally tell people to act on leaks because they're always subject to change. These ones are pretty certain that we're going to get reworks to Magneto. So I think building your Magneto and throwing him in here if you want to is fine. I'm not recommending anybody build, but if you want to throw him in here and build on him, I think you're probably pretty safe to do that. Magneto's a great choice because he does have that Brotherhood tag, so Strife continues to go super fast. And he does more than Mystique does, in my opinion. Plus, the rework to Magneto that's coming up looks to be pretty significant. I like everything that they're doing with that Darkseid team, so that's something you can do. However, you have Fortifier on Strife, and that no longer does anything. Strife's kit does everything that ISO does at the 2.3 level. So I think he should be a healer or anything else. You could go Raider, Skirmisher to get vulnerables out there, whatever you want, but you're not getting any value out of that Fortifier ISO. Healer, striker, Raider, that's fine. You could probably start building up Maddie. She should become farmable hopefully soon, but who knows? Eternals are never going to become farmable, so who knows how long they're going to put Maddie off. I'm going to give you A- for this team. It's not a team that I enjoy or think is very good, but I like that you put Magneto in here. It's unfortunate that you still have Fortifier on Strife. Honestly, I'm not sure that this team is really worth changing that ISO. If you're hurting for the ions, just leave it the way it is. You're not going to get that much benefit out of swapping it. Team number 9 is the Young Avengers. Horrible placement on Young Avengers. You have America Chavez off to the side. She gives like 20 or 25% turn meter on spawn to adjacent tunes. You got her in the corner. So we want to swap that. Let's speed up Kate Bishop and Echo. Kate Bishop so we get to her blinds faster, and Echo so we get to those evades faster. Keeping Miss Marvel in the corner because we're hoping to draw in the Dark Hunters into this team rather than letting people use their Dark Hunters on H for H. And then Squirrel Girl off to the side. We do not want to speed Squirrel Girl up because she will get to her cleanse too fast if we do that. So it's going to go Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, America Chavez, Echo, and then Squirrel Girl. And we need to change Kate Bishop to a skirmisher to make sure those blinds actually land. I don't like the Raider ISO on her. If you're going to go for a secondary pick, you might as well go Striker so she gets the triple tap combo with Miss Marvel. For me, that's a huge no-no right there. Waste of a good tune putting her in the corner. I'm going to give you a B- for that team. Team number 10 is the H for H, of course. We got Healer on Iron Fist, which sucks because all the counters that go into this use a heal block and you get no value out of that. I think you should make him a Skirmisher or a Raider so that you could put a vulnerable or some crit damage on the field with that. Otherwise, it's pretty good. You could move Luke Cage out of the corner if you wanted to, because a lot of people are using Dark Hunters on this team, but I don't think it really matters where Luke Cage goes anymore because the way that those things got turned around. Otherwise, I think everything else is okay here. Yeah, Striker, okay. Yeah, looking good. Gonna go A- on that team. All right, if you like what you saw, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too, and I'll see you next time. Bye.